Thursday, week 2 of 12. Okay, so the cool thing about this exercise is it allows me to isolate each individual pec so I could get an even consistent strain on them, because for those of you who don't know, I have a torn pec that I had to have surgery on. It is on my right side. You can see the big dip on the pec. And then also the thing about this is I can't feel how far back that arm goes. I make my best judgment using my peripheral vision, trying to keep my arms as even as possible on the way back. But as you can tell, it doesn't always happen. I can't always keep it even, but I try, and it's getting a lot better. If you go back to some of the earlier videos of this channel, you'll see how ridiculously far back my arm moved compared to the other side. And I have really been working on trying to get that even movement, so that way I'm more symmetrical and even. But also, if I push too hard, I go too heavy, I stretch too far, or flex and contract too hard, the pec will cramp up where the dip is from it ripping. So I have to be careful with those. So, but I like it because it allows me to isolate and I can feel it moving individually. Because on these right here, moving the weight together at the same time, it's hard to tell because this one's on a pulley system. So the weight moves together. It's one load, but you have two, you get how the machine works. So with this one, it's hard to tell which pec is working harder. In my mind, I'm like, am I pulling harder with my left or am I pulling harder with my right? Like, which one am I contracting and which one am I pulling in more aggressively than the other one? It's really difficult to tell. So I just do my best to do nice, slow, controlled, hard contractions without cramping up and feeling it in the incision. And you can see if you look towards the armpit, if you actually pause it and look towards the armpit, look at how different the pec looks around the armpit area on each side. You can see the tendon on that side with the scar. It's quite interesting. And there's just a big chunk of meat that's missing that moved down into the pectoral. I know this is going to hurt my placing whenever I bodybuild, and to be honest, I'm expecting dead last whenever I do compete because I don't want to get my hopes up because of my deformity from tearing my pec powerlifting, competing in powerlifting and tearing it in competition. But I'm not going to let it stop me from doing something I want to do, and that's competing in bodybuilding. And guys, I'm not going to be competing until next year. So those of you who want to start being like, you're nowhere near ready, I know. I'm giving myself the rest of the year to get lean enough to be able to actually figure out how much time I need to be able to get lean enough to be able to be competitive in bodybuilding. It's a long process. I started off at 261. I'm now around 235, and this is an ongoing process. So no rush to get hurt, no rush to get anywhere. I'm just enjoying the process, having fun while I do it, taking my time and making sure I don't hurt myself, tear nothing, rip nothing, and most of all, have fun while doing it. The ongoing theme of all of these videos is, guys, be consistent no matter how small your gains are. If you're trying to put on size and it doesn't seem like it's coming fast enough, know that it is. If it isn't, then change it up. Now, you can't change it up after 2 weeks and be like, well, this program's not working. I did it for 2 weeks. I'm not getting nothing out of it. You need to run a program for about 3 to 6 months legitimately. And I don't mean like, oh, I skipped a workout or I sandbagged it or I half-heartedly went in there and I didn't give it my all. If you're not giving that program 100% of yourself while you're in there and focusing and training to your absolute potential, and you're not dieting and you're not giving it everything you have on your diet and your training and your cardio and your sleep and your rest and hydration, you cannot sit there and say this program sucks and it doesn't work. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about and this trainer isn't worth whatever, because I didn't get results. If you're not doing it 100% to the T, you cannot sit there and cry, complain, and gripe that your results never came. Now, with that being said, if you are doing everything to the T and you're dieting and you're sleeping and you're resting and you're hydrating and you're giving it everything you have in the gym and on your cardio and you're following it to the T and you're not getting the results that you need, whether you're doing it on your own or you're paying somebody, change it up. Don't be afraid to change it up. If something hurts you, don't do it. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. If you don't feel it where you're supposed to be feeling it, don't do it. Do something different. Do something else. Find a way to target the area in a different plane of motion that feels better for your muscle, for your frame, for your skeletal structure. Have fun. It's all supposed to be fun. The best part about playing a video game isn't beating it. It's about the experience of playing it. So have fun while doing it and find the things you like doing and do those like a kid at the playground. If you like the monkey bars, do the monkey bars. If you like the swings, do the swings. Don't look at this like dogma. But before you dog on anyone's training programs, you need to give it a 100% legitimate go at it before you can trash on it and say it doesn't work. And even if it doesn't work for you, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. That just means it doesn't work for you. It works for somebody, just not you. In the beginning, any training program and any diet will work for pretty much anybody. But as you get better, as you get bigger, as you get stronger, as you get leaner, as you get harder, as you get flexible, your programs will have to change. You'll have to dial them in. You have to figure out the little I forget the word I'm trying to say here, but you have to figure out all the little tiny nitty-gritty details that are going to take you that much further and put you that much farther ahead. So like if you like doing a wide grip pull down, but more of a neutral grip pull down works better, or a pull up works better, you're going to have to figure out what works best for you when you get to the point where the variables matter. Like, okay, eating 14 grams of salt bloats me, but eating 11 grams of salt puts me right where I need to be with my hydration. That is whenever you are like pretty much on a professional level, or you've gotten so far deep into your results that every tiny little thing you do affects you in some way or another. And if you get to that point, that means that you are crazy serious about this and you are already clanging and banging and make great results and you look phenomenal, or you're incredibly strong, or you're so far into your fitness goals, you pretty much know the direction you're heading. So you already know all of this. So good for you. Keep going, buddy, whoever that is that's watching this video. But for everybody else who's fat and gross like myself and like Richard, just remember all these little things that I've been talking about in these videos. Consistency, 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 consistency. The beginning of the week, I was upset. I looked at my stomach. I was like, why does it still look so fat and gross? I got discouraged. I got upset. I was like, man, this is freaking ridiculous. Like, why can't I see the results? How come they're not coming faster? But then, like everybody else, I wanted to see them right then and there, but I had to rewind, calm myself down and be like, look, you fat and gross dude, you have been making bad decisions with bad habits for the last 2 years since you had your surgery. You're 261 pounds at 6 foot. These bad decisions are not going to reverse themselves overnight. This is my second week into my second 12-week program and the process and the pursuit of abs. I know abs don't win competitions, but a big goal of mine is to be lean enough to have visible abs. Why? Because if I have visible abs and I'm able to start gaining weight while having visible abs and keep my visible abs while I'm putting on muscle mass, when I go to compete, I'm going to have that much less weight to cut, that less amount of fat carrying on my body, so I'm not going to shrink up for my competition. Like you see these guys that walk around and they cut like 60 pounds for their show, and then they look great in the off season, but then they look like string beans on stage. Like, what happened to you? Why do you look so anorexically skinny? I don't want to be that guy. And there's nothing wrong with being that guy. And that's your best, and be proud of that. But me personally, I don't want to have a sunken in look where I look like I'm malnourished. I want to be close to the weight that I'm going to be walking around, that I am going to be on stage. But that's just me and my preference, and that's my mindset, right? I want to look good walking around, and I know I can't hold 7% body fat, but if I can hold 10, 11% body fat, I'm going to hold 10, 11% body fat, because a lot of people lose sight of it, and what they do is they want to lose weight, so they reduce their calories, and then they up their cardio, and then they're doing all this output and barely taking anything in. Then they get really, really skinny and sunken in and lose all their muscle mass. 1 to 2 pounds a week is where you want to be. That is like the good area of fat loss, so you're not burning any muscle, at least a minimal amount of muscle to your fat loss. Do not rush the results. Take it easy. Ease into it 1 to 2 pounds a week. And like, well, that's only going to be 12 pounds in 12 weeks. But you know what? That's 12 pounds of fat and almost pure fat that you lost without any muscle or very minimal muscle, versus losing 24 pounds or 36 pounds or 48 pounds and half of it being muscle. You don't want to go down that route. I've done that many times in the past, and I'm telling you, it's not a good look, and it's something that I wish I would have checked myself on, but it's hard to see yourself for what you look like in the mirror when you're focusing on one area or one aspect or one goal and everything. It kind of makes it hard to see the bigger picture. So, but anyways, that's it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching us fat guys work out. I know it's not the most exciting, amazing, incredible, you know, just spontaneous, explosive video you can see on the internet. It's just two fat guys working out, but this is consistency at its finest, and this is two fat guys working out consistently, showing you the real-time, real-life timeline of what it takes to lose weight. I am 36. He's going to be 39. He's 38 right now, or he's 37, going to be 38. I honestly can't remember. But anyways, just so you guys know where we stand as far as it goes for the layout of these videos. But you can go back to the very beginning and see where we started to where we are now. But I'm rambling. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time.